Happy Monday. Happy Monday. How are y'all doing? Listen, is it bright enough in here? Let me turn on this other light real quick. That may be better. What's up, family? Happy Monday. Welcome back to another one. It's your girl, Desiree D. Ray Wise, spiritual healing coach, and y'all, I had a rough weekend. Some of y'all may have had great weekends, but I had a rough one. A rough one emotionally, really. Um, and life be life, and it be like that sometimes. And I just kind of got the message from my rough weekend that I need to let love in more, right? I need to let love in more. Excuse my hair. So how are y'all doing before I jump into all of that? How was y'all's weekend? One thing that did make me happy this weekend is I got a new candle, and I'm going to light it. If the lighter come on. Okay, there we go. So we're going to talk about letting love in, because that's something that, Spirit had basically given me to sum up my entire weekend, right? It was all about letting love in. And I'll be honest, I had some resistance towards letting love in. And it be like that sometimes, right? Even when you are like on this journey, even when we're like on this journey and we're doing this work, and you have a certain amount of spiritual wisdom, it doesn't mean that you won't experience challenges. It doesn't mean that like adversity or emotional things or shadow work, as we like to call it, won't come up, because it will. So on Saturday, no, let me start off from Friday. Friday night, it's pretty good. I started back coaching volleyball, y'all, which has been a form of me giving back, right? Because volleyball was one of my first loves, and an old coach called me that I used to know, called me and was like, hey, we really want you to come out and coach right around the corner, from your house. Come help these girls out over the summer. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. It'll be great. But not only will it be great for me in just giving back to these girls, but I get to bring Kara, so she's gonna be learning how to play volleyball this summer. So that's gonna be awesome. And so went to volleyball practice on Friday, and I hadn't did it in so long, y'all. I'm serving balls, and I'm like tired. So I know when I get home, I'm about to pass out. I'm about to sleep good. So get home after volleyball practice, go to bed, and in my sleep, I'm just hearing this gospel song called Bless Me, right? Now, I ain't mad at that, because I do need that. I require more at this space and time in my life. I don't know if y'all know this song, but it goes, bless me indeed, enlarge my territory. Oh Lord, bless me. Let me know if y'all know that song. Bless me indeed. I pray for it. I'm gonna go and find that. I'm gonna go and find that song. I'm gonna go find the words of that song. But basically, the song is just saying, bless me, increase, enlarge my territory. So as I'm sleeping, I'm hearing this song, which is great, right? Because I'm like, okay, clearly my spirit team, my subconscious mind, is just letting me know that increase and favor and expansion is on the horizon. So this is a good thing. So y'all know, Dream goes to the gym every morning, like 5:30 in the morning. So I wake up, he just makes it home, and because I'm hearing that song in my sleep, I'm like, okay, I gotta play that song, right? I gotta listen to that song. And so I wake up in the morning, he just gets home from the gym, and I do my wifely duties, which is making him some breakfast, getting some protein in his body. So I'm in the kitchen cooking. This is probably like 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the kitchen cooking him some breakfast because he just worked out. And he says to me, "What's going on with you?" That's how I took it, right? He says to me, "What's going on with you?" And for some reason, it was a subtle, like, I asked him, I said, "Why are you asking me what's going on with me?" He talking about, "Because you listening to this gospel music." And I'm like, first of all, I like gospel music and I listen to it, quite often because, some of the songs just resonate or they'll raise my vibration. But specifically, what I was listening to or why I was listening to gospel music this time was because I was hearing the song in my sleep. So I'm like, "Why are you asking me what's going on with me?" Right? And this is when, and he's like, "I'm just curious." He's saying he's just curious. I'm saying he's being judgmental, right? What y'all think? when somebody says, "What's going on with you?" I guess it could be a curiosity, but on the opposite side, it could be a judgment, right? And the reason why I say that is because imagine if you see somebody that you feel is doing something crazy, right? Or imagine if you see a friend or a family member doing something that you think is like, that you assume is out of their ordinary, right? And they like, "What's going on with you?" And I guess my mind took it as, "What's wrong with you?" instead of "What's going on with you." You see how the mind plays games? And that's why this message of letting love in is so important, right? Because he probably, and I feel after we talked about it, I could see the curiosity, right? I could see the curiosity. But he knows that I like gospel music. And so as I'm talking to him about it, he's like, "But this is a different type of gospel music." He talking about the songs you usually like to listen to are more upbeat or they feel like more R&B-ish. And at that moment, I just, for some reason, couldn't let his love in or his curiosity in. I felt like I had this kind of guard up, this kind of protection up. And maybe it's because I felt or feel like on the spiritual path, when people listen to gospel music or they read a Bible or they are, you know, reconnecting to those roots that were learned in religion, spiritual people are like looking at you sideways, or they like, "What's wrong with you?" or "Don't you know that you are God?" Right? Like shit like that. And so so I'm like, are you being judgmental or are you being curious? Because I listen to gospel music, so why are you asking me what's going on with me? As if something is wrong with me because I'm listening to this. So it's, one of those things. But needless to say, that question had triggered something inside of me, right? Which I get it. Which I get it. And I should have just explained that, I had a dream, and in that dream I heard a gospel song, and the funny part is that the gospel song that I was listening to was not even all holier than thou, okay? It was not even like a Negro spiritual. And I will tell you, so when Dream and I were talking about it that morning, he was like, "There's a difference in the gospel songs." And at first, I was kind of rejecting that idea, even though that idea is indeed true. And later on in the day, because I was now feeling some type of way, I had ended up playing one of those gospel songs that's like a war cry. That's like a battle song, right? That's like I'm going through or I'm trying to come through something. The song that was playing when he asked me what's going on with me was Tamala Mann's "Change Me, Oh God." That song is not even that deep. "Change me, oh God, make me more like you." That song is not even that deep, like at all. So I don't even know why he thought like it was a different type of gospel song, because it really wasn't. Right? "Change Me, Oh God" was to me is such a powerful song for anybody. I remember the first time I got hip to that song by Tamala Mann, it was on YouTube. this white guy who was an atheist had listened to Tamala Mann singing Change Me, Oh God, when she sang it live at some like BET thing. And he was like, I don't even believe in God or believe in a God. I don't even know. But when I heard this woman sing this song, something supernatural was coming out of her. That's the first time I even heard about Tamala Mann's Change Me, Oh God. But that song is so powerful because our flesh, our humanity is rigid. It's not really flexible, right? So like when we are stuck in our ways, which is one of the lessons that I learned this weekend through some of the challenges that I faced, is that, you know, our humanity, whatever the trigger is, our humanity is like, that's our trigger. Let's keep it that way, right? Our flesh, our human is like, that's what it is. That's who I am. That is what bothers me. That is what triggers me. This is what I like. This is what I don't like. That's what our humanity does. And so Tamala Mann's Change Me, Oh God, is asking for that divine part of us to support us in change. Because if it was left up to our humanity, this is where self-sabotage comes into play and you be in a battle with your flesh. So we need that divine quality. We need that God mind, that God body, that God energy. We need that higher self to come through and, you know, make way for that change and support us and to keep us mindful and to keep us present. Anyways, that was the song that was playing when Dream asked me the question. Moving on, though, we let go of it. We had to move on because we got to get in the book club. We got work to do and things like that. But I wasn't able to just let it go. He let it go and moved on or whatever. But I was like, why do I feel judged for listening to a gospel song when I know why I'm listening to it? I know how it serves me. I know what it means for me. And so I kind of sat with that kind of all day, which is one of the things where I'm saying we got to let love in, because I was just like, okay, Spirit, what is this? And that's something that I talk to about with my coaching clients, right? I'm always letting them know, like, when you feel something, we don't have to always try to get out of it or get over it quickly, because sometimes sitting in the feeling is when things are revealed to us. So I had to sit with all of that. I let all of the shit come up. And that's the thing that we have to understand too, is that when we decide that we're going to sit with an emotion, when we decide that we're going to sit with an energy, best believe all of the thoughts, all of the beliefs, all of the subconscious things that are vibrating on the same frequency of the emotion that we are feeling are going to come up. And that's what made my Saturday in particular one where I was kind of in an internal, introspective kind of battle, right? Because once you sit in something for 17 seconds or more, the next thought that is on that same frequency is coming. And the beautiful thing is that that same thing operates in positivity as well. Once we sit in a positive emotion for long enough, or positive thought, after 17 seconds, boom, a domino effect, the next thought that is on that same frequency is going to come up. Okay? So we get out of the book club, and in the book club, we talked about everybody doing something new. And so Dream's doing something new was planting this lemon tree that we got. And I'm telling y'all, in this moment, I'm still like in resistance. But what I told myself was, I'm not going to let whatever I'm feeling and working through right now, I'm not going to let it stop me from experiencing this new thing with my family. That brings up Madison Ryan Ward's new thing. I listen to Madison Ryan Ward all the time, and Dreamwise never asks me what's going on with me, why am I listening to this gospel. The reality is that Madison Ryan Ward is a gospel singer. she's just added a whole new flavor, a whole new taste to it, which I just love. So anyways, we go outside and the kids, I'm holding Kai, so I can't really be too involved with planting this lemon tree. So Dream, he has on his shoes and he got the shovel and he's digging it in the ground and pulling it up and he drops in the lemon tree. And I'm kind of not so close up on them. I'm kind of a ways away from them. And I just told myself like, I'm not about to resist the love that is happening right now. Because, sometimes we can do that where we're feeling some type of way or we're having certain thoughts and we will resist the love that is available. We will resist for whatever reason. Obviously, it would have to be some form of fear. But we would rather just sit in that feeling rather than embracing the love that is being present, embracing the door that is opening. So it was an open door into love because you got my kids and my husband literally planting a tree in our backyard. Literally planting a tree in our backyard. This is something totally new for us, right? And it's a tree that we bought together like months ago. And so I got out of my feelings and I stood up and I went and I stood by them as they finished planting the tree and as they watered the tree to get the soil all nice. And then Dream asked the kids, what do you want to name the tree? And they said love. And I was like, see, I would have been sitting over there in my corner on the other side of the yard in my frustration, missing out on this moment of real love that is coming through my children, that is coming through my husband, that is coming through our home and just this beautiful place that we have, this beautiful backyard that we have. Like, I was literally going to miss out on that because I was in resistance. And that's the thing about letting love in. We need love the most when we're not feeling it. Right? We need, and I can't make this up. The quote that's on my tee, it says, be fearless. Know that all will be provided at the right time. Be fearless. Know that all will be provided at the right time. I'm going to sip to that. I'm going to sip to that. I'm going to be fearless. But that's like the mechanics of love. It's always there when you need it. But we got to let it in. And so me getting up, going and standing by the tree and hugging my kids as they're calling it love, that was me letting love in, even though something in my being still wanted to resist. And I'll tell y'all, after that, Dream had to go like drop off packages or something. So it was just me and the kids. It was just me and the kids at home. And they knew that I wasn't feeling my best. And I had to let them in. Imagine what our lives would be like if our moms actually communicated with us how she felt. Like, did y'all have that experience of your mom actually being vulnerable with you? I didn't. My mom was never really vulnerable. It wasn't until it was like extreme, like something happened in the family that was heavy. But like just her feelings, like no, that was not something that we talked about. And so like with my kids, when Dream was gone, I just kind of told them, I'm like, look, mommy is doing her best. Sometimes I get tired. Sometimes this is hard. I'm like, we got our beautiful 6-month-old baby who is amazing, but he requires a lot of me. The 2-year-old, she is just rambunctious and she is demanding because she wants what she wants when she wants it. And then I got y'all older kids who you want to do whatever you want to, like literally I had to tell them, I'm like, I want y'all to understand that if I ask you to do something as your mother, I say, clean up the living room. or clean up your play area, or do this. When y'all don't do it, y'all are adding more stress to me. I didn't say it to them like that. I said it in a way that they could understand it. But I just wanted to let them know that they are important, and what they do and what they don't do makes a difference to me. So yes, I'm here and I'm frustrated, and your daddy got me triggered, and 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 all of that stuff like that, but y'all are part of this as well. And I'm doing my best, and I need y'all to help out. If I ask you to do something, I need you to do it. Right? If y'all are feeling some type of way and I ask you what's going on, I need you to communicate. We got to work together in this thing. And so that led to bunches of hugs and kisses and things like that, and just this feeling of surrender, and just me saying, okay, I'm going to let the love in. And it took all day of all of these different little moments of me saying, let it in. Let my kids in, right? Let them in. Let them feel. Let them understand. Let them support me, right? Even though they're kids, right? I get it. Don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that my kids have to do anything like that. I'm just saying helping them to get an understanding that, their well-being impacts me. Because I don't think kids understand that. I know I didn't, right? When I was that rebellious girl, like there was a point in time in my life where I was super rebellious towards my mom. Like anything she said was triggering and upsetting and angering and things like that. And I did not take into consideration how that potentially could make her feel. Okay? Thank you, babe, for getting these people out of here. I never took into consideration how that could make my mom feel. And so I was like telling my kids this weekend, like, if I've asked you to do something, right? Or if I said, don't do that, you can get hurt. And I look up and 2 days later, you're doing the same thing. Okay. So, and then another beautiful thing that ended up happening is that later that day, because after Dream and I had the conversation about the gospel music, we kind of just went on about our day, kept being responsible, essentially. We were in the bed and we had a conversation, and the conversation lasted. We were just talking, and I realized that I can do more of letting him in on what's actually going on inside of me. In that moment when he asked what's going on, I didn't feel like anything was going on at the time, you know? And I'm like, I need to speak up more. I need to talk more. I need to express more. And so three things that Spirit has given me about letting love in is that, one, in order to let love in, we have to be able to express that we need it sometimes. Like, right? Like when sometimes get intense, we got to be able to say, you know what, I'm having a rough day, or, this makes me feel this type of way, so that we can let the people around us support us, right? Like I did with my kids. I communicated with them. I told them how I was feeling to give them the opportunity to support me. I think that's a big, big deal. The second thing that I learned from this is we have to know that when people really love us, they are going to be curious about us. They are going to have an opinion or even a perception, right? And I was just telling myself that when it came to Dream, I don't have to look at it as judgment, right? Like I chose subconsciously to look at his question as judgment. And And sometimes judgment is necessary. Sometimes judgment is required because sometimes we need to be told things about ourselves that we can't see. And though that specific situation with the gospel music, though that was not one of those moments, because I was genuinely well that morning, though that wasn't those moments, Spirit still drew my attention to the fact that there are moments where I'm not feeling my best, or I'm not doing my best, or I'm in resistance, and I need that reflection, and I need that, hey, you know, and understand that that is a form of love, even though it doesn't feel like it. I know you wasn't judging, babe. I know you wasn't judging. I know now that you weren't judging, but I'm just telling the people how I was feeling because it's relevant, you know. So allowing, and then let me also say this, y'all. There is a such thing as righteous judgment. There is a such thing as righteous judgment, right? It's hypocrisy when people judge when they do the same thing, right? Or when they condemn, or when they create a belief based off of what they are observing, right? Those are judgments. But if you have discernment, you sometimes we need to judge situations, right? For example, I told y'all I started back coaching volleyball, and I went to the gym. I had to judge the situation, right? I had to judge the situation to know if it was a space that I wanted to be in. So sometimes judgment is necessary, meaning sometimes it is required of us to assess a situation, determine what's happening, and how it serves our highest good. And we do that through discernment. We do that through really leaning into the spirit, into the energy of a thing. So we do have to understand that. But understanding that sometimes love doesn't feel like love, but it is love. You know, sometimes when we are being challenged, it's a form of love, even though it may feel like a fight, even though it may feel like, I don't like this. And then the last thing that I learned about letting love in is just understanding that in any given moment, we have what we need. We just have to choose it. So like when we were outside, literally, I was just like, I'm probably not going to get up. Because Dream and I hadn't really broke down everything that I was feeling or everything that he was thinking. We hadn't really broke it all the way down. You understand what I mean? And y'all know how it is in relationship, right? When you're in a relationship and you and your partner have a little bit of a discussion or a little bit of a disagreement and you don't really come to a complete resolve, y'all know what that's like? Where it's kind of like you put a pin in it. That's kind of what we did. We kind of put a pin in it because we had other things on the schedule, consultations and coaching or whatever. We kind of just put a pin in it. And because it wasn't completely resolved, I was still kind of guarded. And that's something that we do. That's something that we do. And so in that guardedness, whether it is at a job or in your family or in your relationships or even with yourself, in that guardedness, we're not letting love in because we got this armor on. And so him and the kids are doing such a beautiful thing, right? They're doing a beautiful thing. And because him and I hadn't had the vulnerable conversation, my guard was still up and I struggled to let the love in for what was actually happening. But the love was there. And that was something that I took away from it. Like the love was very much so present. Even Dream deciding, I'm about to get this tree planted, and he got his shoes and he got the soil and he got the shovel and he got the tree. That was love. And, you know, when he let the kids do what they did, the love was available and present. And so that's just what I wanted to share with y'all, right? Like, let the love in. We got to allow ourselves to be supported. We got to know that it's there. At any given moment, we just have to look for it. Okay? We just have to look for it. And I love my own life experience so much because that ends up being what I share with my coaching clients, right? Like, I can't teach y'all things that I have not been through, going through, experiencing. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, let it in. Look for it. It's there. Okay? It's there. It's present. It's available at any given moment. But we just have to choose that we're going to lean into it. And then also know that we are worthy of support from everybody around us, from your children, from your partner, from your coworker, from your mother, your father, whoever. Like, you are worth that. But we can't be so rigid that we don't allow ourselves to express what we need, because that's a big thing too. You know, wanting to fight it out by ourselves, wanting to deal with it by ourselves. No, we can receive support from the most random and beautiful places. All right. I hope y'all enjoy y'all's week. You know, I forgot to write. So, I guess the word for the week is just going to be love, right? Because that's what we're talking about. And y'all, I legitimately keep that word up there. And it'd be so random because Dream will come into the kitchen and he be like, remember, the word is position, or the word is love, or the word is whatever. Like, he will make note that that's there, and we'll be doing some regular life stuff, and he will call my attention to what the word of the week is. So that's the word of the week: love. Letting love in. Y'all enjoy y'all's week. Know that you are worth it, and it's always there when you need it.